Hi everybody, it's Guru Bob and welcome to day 2 of module 7 for the challenge in 2010. Well, yesterday we gave you some reasons why and how you should be making a decision about your micro niche. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the consequences of that decision and some of the options that are available to you depending on whether you decide to go forward or not. Now later in this module we'll be discussing some of those options in more detail. But today, I'm just going to go through all the options, introduce them to you, and discuss the consequences. So let's head to the screen.
Firstly, I want to consider the options that you have if you decide not to go forward in your micro niche. Now, you may be not at that point yet where you can make that decision. Caro discussed yesterday some of the variables that you need to consider to be able to determine commerciality. But if we make the assumption that you have reached that point where you can make a decision, you've decided not to go forward, then these are the options that are available to you. Firstly, you may decide to sell the niche site that you've developed, your WordPress-direct blog, on a buying and selling website service called flipper.com. And this is the option that's available to you to recover or at least get some sort of monetary reward for the time and effort that you've put into developing your niche site. Even if your site isn't making any money, it still has a relative value, and somebody may be prepared to buy your site off you on Flipper on the strength of the on-page optimization relative to the keyword that you've targeted, and perhaps also some of the ranking that you may have earned throughout the challenge. So, that's what we mean by you can't fail in this process. Even if the niche isn't particularly commercial and you decide not to go forward, you still might be able to generate a reward for the effort that you've put in. Now, you may, of course, decide to maintain the site even though it's not making any money. This is definitely true if you've set up this site in an area that you're passionate about or that you've got some interest in. And where you're still prepared to put some work into maintaining and growing the site, even though it might not be giving you a monetary return. Another reason why you might also choose to do this is that if your site generates some ranking and some page rank over time, then you may choose to use that site as a source of backlinks for future projects that you decide to undertake. So even if a site has no commercial value, it still may have an SEO value to you. If there's no potential SEO value, and of course there's no commercial value, and you just decide that it's something you're no longer interested in, well then of course you can discontinue the site, you can cancel your hosting account, and when your domain comes up for renewal in a year's time, then just don't renew that domain. Now, we will be covering the first option in the decision not to go forward here, which is to sell your site on flipper.com in considerable detail over the next 2 days of Module 7 in the challenge this year. So you'll get plenty of opportunity to see what is going to be required for you to prepare your site for sale and to manage and complete that sale on Flipper. Now let's talk about some of the things that you will wish to consider if you decide to go forward in your niche. The first thing, of course, is that you want to increase the traffic coming to your site, thereby increasing hopefully the volume, the quantity of sales that you may have. Now, there are 2 ways of increasing the traffic: either to get better rankings for the keywords for which you are already receiving traffic, ultimately, hopefully getting to position 1 in Google for those keywords, and you would do that by getting more and more specific backlinks and increasing the authority of your site in the eyes of Google so that Google ranks your site higher. In addition, you can also post against a wider range of relevant keywords within your micro niche. You might want to go back to Market Samurai and find more keywords that you can post on, hopefully therefore rank in the search engines for, which will bring you additional traffic. You may also use the keyword reporting functionality in your Google Analytics account to identify additional keywords as well. Once you're getting more traffic, we can consider other aspects of the symphony of 4 parts that Ed talked about right at the beginning of the challenge. So far, we've been mostly focusing on market and keyword research and traffic. But the third part of the symphony of 4 parts is conversion. And there are various things to learn and strategies that you can apply that will increase the probability that the traffic coming to your site will ultimately lead to a sale. Some of those things may include building a list, an email list within your niche, and also considering additional monetization options that you will both put onto your site and possibly add to the autoresponder email program that you send to the people that have opted in. And last but not least, we might consider the fourth aspect of the Symphony of Four Parts, which is product. Once you become comfortable in your niche and you begin to get a greater insight into the problems that people in your niche are experiencing and are looking for solutions for, you may choose to develop your own product. The goal here is to develop products with a higher perceived value to the people coming to your site. And these products might include audio programs, information products, possibly even video products that you deliver either online or possibly even products that you will package up and deliver offline. The goal here is to create products with a much higher perceived value, which you can sell for a higher amount, thereby increasing the relative margin that you receive from a person that actually buys. Ultimately, thereby increasing the value of your traffic over time. Now, this is a more advanced option, and some of you may never choose to go down there. Some of you may choose to stick with selling other people's products through affiliate programs. But ultimately, the greatest value that you'll derive from your niche is when you develop your own products that not only you can sell, but other people can sell on your behalf as affiliates. Well, those are all some of the consequences that you will need to consider once you make a decision in relation to your micro niche. Some of those consequences we will be covering in much more detail over the next couple of days in Module 7. Those mainly being Flipper. We're going to show you how to prepare and manage your site for sale using that network. And on day 5, I'm also going to be showing you how to find additional keywords using Market Samurai and Google Analytics. Some of the other consequences have much wider ranging impact, and quite a little bit more time would be required to teach those things to you. We would like you to consider possibly joining one of our forward programs like Challenge Plus or Immediate Edge, where we do cover some of those things in considerable detail. I look forward to speaking with you later in Module 7.